Holbrook, Arizona. While many an old western town died away, Holbrook has lived on. Population 5,000, Indians and Caucasians. Latest styles in the shop windows, but still a cow town, just as in 1880. Has a fine courthouse, county seat of Navajo County. A sheriff's office. Quite a change from early days. Only bad men are the same. They've still got to be tracked down. We're in the office of Sheriff Ben Pearson here in the heart of the rugged West to answer a request that comes from more than 2,500 miles away. Joe Battaglia of Jackson Heights, New York, wrote this interesting letter, and he asked to see a comparison of an old sheriff who lived and enforced the law 60 or 75 years ago, when the West was really wild, and a modern sheriff of today, both from the same town. Now, he wants that comparison to investigate the kind of men they were and how each of them would go about solving the same kind of crime. Well, that's an intriguing request, Joe. The old and the new side by side. Two sheriffs of Navajo County separated by a mere 73 years. Let's span that time and go back to the year 1886. The city had just changed its name from Horsehead Crossing to Holbrook and elected a new sheriff, Commodore Perry Owens, so named because he was born on the anniversary of Commodore Perry's victory. Former buffalo hunter, Indian fighter, he wore his hair long like the mountain men of his native Tennessee. Gun worn on his left hip for a right-hand draw. He ended rule by terror here for all times. The town settled down to peaceful ways. New settlers came by train, by covered wagon. And his fame wasn't all legend. In one action alone, he killed 4 gunmen. Owens was a quiet man, retiring but confident, and a lightning shot. He once said, "Whenever I draw a bead and shoot, I know I've got something." In those days, a sheriff had little more to fight with than an outlaw did. Let's see the problems he faced. On a hot July day, 1886, 3 masked outlaws entered the Holbrook Bank, forced the teller to open the safe, hand over $8,000. The teller stood helpless as they escaped. A few men had seen their horses at the hitch rail, saw them right away. They could identify the horses, but that was all. It took over an hour to alert the town, assemble a posse, saddle, and mount up. The bandits now miles away. Their only means of travel by horse. Commodore Owens had an almost instinctive ability to read trail signs. He had no other way to follow, even in rocky terrain. Thousands of miles of open, barren country. A man had to know how to survive this desert land, too. Sheriff Owens had followed the trail well. It led to a lonely corral. These were the getaway horses. All wet with sweat, recently ridden hard. It was obvious now that the outlaws had switched horses, their only means of identification gone. The outlaws had made their escape. Owens knew the hunt was over.